So it goes without saying that individuals would like to have enough money to sustain their lifestyle. Now, having a millionaire status is a number that resonates with a lot of people, but I want to show today that it's possible to reach millionaire status and it's much simpler than you may otherwise think. So for those new to my channel, I focus on dividend-based investments. You can see the investments that I have, all the different companies, and the different share quantities that I own. For me, this is my strategy in achieving passive income, and I achieve that by the dividends that I receive on a monthly basis. So I want to focus on the power of compound interest, and I have a basic calculator on my screen at the moment. Now, before I talk about the numbers, I just want to explain that the assumption I'm making is that we have a standard working class individual that is working throughout their lifetime. Every month they decide to deposit £1,000. And on top of that, they have a savings account which gives them a stable interest rate of 1.65%. And subsequently, they never had any initial money within their savings account. They just deposited £1,000 every single month for 53 years. So from this blue graph, we have a total balance of over £1 million. And so keep in mind, every month, if we deposit £1,000, that's £12,000 in the year. And over a 53-year period, that equates to over £600,000 that we have allocated into this savings account. Now, in terms of the interest, which is compounded yearly, we have a breakdown of the remainder. And so we generate passively £3,777,000. Now, of course, individuals have to sustain themselves. So someone who can save £1,000 would most likely have to have around double that from their paycheck so that they can still pay for their mortgage on their homes, etc. But simplifying this as best as possible, an average individual can save up and have £1 million in their bank account once they hit retirement age. So the question is, if most individuals can achieve millionaire status, what can we do to speed up that process? So when we talk about owning shares and buying companies that provide us with dividends, we can effectively speed up the time in which we accumulate a net worth of £1 million. So using Apple as an example, if we had invested £10,000 back in 2010 and we held those shares for a 10-year period, so ending on today for instance, we can see that we would have accumulated almost $120,000 and we have this annual return of slightly under 30%. Now there's two mechanisms that are working here. We have the appreciation in the underlying stock. So back in 2010, the stock price was at value X, and in 2020, that value has multiplied. But in addition, we have dividends being paid out. Now, Apple pays a dividend of 1.12% annually, which is paid out every 3 months. So for the case of Apple, the dividends are not the driving factor. It's definitely the capital appreciation of the underlying stock. But nevertheless, reinvesting that 1% year on year magnifies 10, 20 or 30 years from now. Now, for the likes of myself and for others, we don't just invest in one company, we invest in a range of different companies. And that's just because we don't know which companies will survive in the future and which ones will disappear. But spreading out our investments and buying into different companies, what it allows us to achieve is an average dividend value. So if I invest in company A at a 5% dividend return and company B at a 10% dividend return, then I'm going to average a 7.5 dividend yield year on year. So unlike our example of compound interest for a standard savings account, we can actually fast track our process by investing into companies. And on top of that, if we select the correct companies that pay out dividends as well, we benefit from that compounding nature. Now, as with anything, investments can go up and down, but in the long run, prices trend upwards. And equally, you should still have a savings account. But for myself, I have more and more of my funds within my Trading 212 platform as opposed to sitting idle in savings accounts. Now, reaching millionaire status is just a figure that people like to think about but your financial goals can be any number that you wish. And generally speaking, as long as you can live in a sustainable manner, such as knowing how much you spend per month, then you can work out how much passive income you need so that in the future you don't have to work every single hour of the day and live paycheck to paycheck. So hopefully this video has made you more aware that it's possible to have an accumulation of £1 million or more. And I just wanted to point out that with stocks and shares, it's possible to fast track your process. It's not fully guaranteed, but it's an approach that I take. So if you're new to the channel, I post new videos every Thursday. I generally provide an update on my portfolio week on week to show the progression or the decline in the value of my portfolio. So thanks for watching everyone, and with that said, I'll catch you in the next one.